Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Scorpio cycle in AstroSoup. No, that didn't quite way, but that's okay. I think you generally know what I mean. At least I hope you do. So, Andy and I are gonna do our little face off. I guess we're calling it that. I don't know anymore. We haven't come up with a we just like to talk, and so that's essentially what we're going to do. So this week is all in the props. We're going to talk about. No, it's time for props. Anyways, I name things and then I forget what I named them. So, but before we get that, Andy wanted to have another earring face off from last
I have to
episode.
show you that I chose these spider earrings and this spider necklace for the fourth episode of Scorpio because not only are spiders a Scorpio animal, which I just found out last episode that spiders are part of the scorpion family, or scorpions are part of the
Yeah,
spider family.
you didn't
But
know
I
that?
you guys pulled a spider card last week, and so I had to wear my spider earrings because I listened to the card pulls and I have to be influenced by them.
My apologies to everybody as I clear my throat for the 14th time. Andy's decided she's going to marry me.
I'm mirroring Leslie.
Okay. Where I live is very dry.
Okay,
And
can I
apparently
show
I
you
haven't
my
drank enough
prop?
water. So, well, but you talked about your earrings and I wore moon ones,
Those
although
are fabulous.
it's pretty hard to get new moon earrings because there wouldn't be anything there.
It's true.
Well, I suppose you could have a black round disc. So anyways, Andy and I have been talking a lot about props, and so we're excited to talk about props before we get to the more or less the main event. So I'm going to let Andy go first
All
because
right. Well, okay. So I had to get my soup props because this is the Astro Soup show. So, I got my soup container and I got these veggies in my soup here. I got a few different spoons. I got this spoon. I can stir my veggies. What's in the soup? I don't know. I got a whisk. I can whisk it together. This is what we do in the trance going on. I got this thing. I can like lay it on. But more importantly, for the Scorpio episode, I got out my book called Paint It Black because I would like to paint all my props black for today, but Leslie said no. I would have painted the suit black today, but you didn't let me.
but then we wouldn't be able to see them against your shirt.
Oh,
So you
details.
either have black props and a colored shirt or
Well,
black shirt,
I could have
colored
planted the
props.
Scorpio and I would have had my Scorpio props and it would have been perfectly black enough around here. All
And
right,
and
what do you got?
and of course I must be looking ahead to Sagittarius because here's my prop.
Oh, that's so cute.
She's Sparkly. Her name is Sparkly.
Is she a banana?
I think so. She is. I never even realized it.
She's the chubbiest banana I've ever seen.
Oh, but she's full
Someone
of.
was eating a banana on the last episode.
It's true. That's so true. Well, we're here to prove that synchronicity actually happens.
We're full of synchronicities. Spiders, bananas,
Yeah,
bananas.
yeah.
Yeah.
She
Wow.
just wanted to show up and be herself. That's all she wanted to do. She really doesn't have anything to say it. She said, well, not this time.
Does
Maybe
she
not.
want a drink? Does she want a drink?
What is it? She said. What kind of drink is it?
It's mineral water.
Well, maybe.
Well, she
But
has to put her face up to the screen so I can give her a drink. Did you get it? Oh, did I get it in her mouth? Okay.
okay, well, honestly, everybody, this is the purpose of this is to lighten things up, especially when the sun's in Scorpio, because that's not known for it's got humor. It's mostly known for satire and sarcasm,
Wow.
but not giggles. Not giggles. But so we want to have some giggles now, and there will be a giggle at the end, I promise you.
Look at this satirical green pepper I'm putting in the soup. It's just a
I'm
satirical
not
soup.
ask you why you think it's satirical. Because
It's just an ironic tomato.
I'm afraid of the okay. Now you made me up and
I have some sarcastic broccoli. There we go.
okay, I think we've carried this, about as far as we can possibly.
All right, fine.
So now that we've been silly and goofy, um, which is always a good antidote or remediation for intense Scorpio energy, would you not agree, Andy?
Oh yeah, humor heals. It's real.
So this week featured in our Astro Soup is going to be the usual well, not the usual what's in the bowl, but what is in the bowl. And it's not got as much going on this week, but there's still some intense, important stuff. And then we're going to talk about lunar rhythm. Then we'll do a color card. And then Andy and I are going to talk about plumbing the depths.
Okay.
We'll explain what that is when we get there. Don't want to let all our secrets out. After all, it wouldn't be much of a Scorpio episode if we didn't hold something back. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a meditative exercise with everybody. And so you can look forward to that or not, as the case may be. And then we're going to do the second point of initiation in Life is Not a Report Card. I know Andy's been looking forward to that one. And then I'll might pull a soul coaching card depending on how much time we have because we've spent too much time giggling. I should rephrase that because that's a judgment, which does not fit with laughter is always good medicine, no matter how much medicine. Yeah. And then we'll head to obviously wrap it up, which is where I promise you more chuckles. So really what's in the bowl this week are really essentially two things. One is Mercury retrograding back into Scorpio. So more dinging required. I talked about it a bit in the previous episode about how Scorpio energy is always about digging deep and like really going all the way to the bottom. And so once you begin that journey, you really can't stop it. And if you do, this is the process of transformation. And if you think about how transformation functions, you can't stop it halfway through. And if you do, you will do some serious damage to yourself. So as Mercury backs up into Scorpio, you may find that things that you thought you'd resolved have come back, and maybe you feel like come back to haunt you. But the truth is, they just need some cleaning up. And because sometimes, Scorpio really is about the truly uncomfortable things. I mean, if you think about in astrology, what we associate Scorpio with is three things: death, taxes, and sex. And all of those things have, their stuff. They have their stuff. And they're all things that we don't like to talk about. We don't like to talk about taxes because that means talking about money. And we would rather do the Taurus thing, which is show people how much. We don't necessarily want to talk about it. Right? And when it comes to death, we definitely don't like talking about that. But transformation is just a kind of death. And so when you leave your body, that's a transformation. And the energy that you are does not necessarily, your soul, however you want to describe that, because there are many different ways to describe it. And I know this was when my mother passed away, when she died, we were asked if we wanted to see her body. And initially I didn't want to. And she actually worked in the hospital that she died in. And so one of the nurses who had known me since I was a child said, I really think it would be a good idea if you did. And I said, okay, well, I'll compromise. I won't go all the way into her hospital room. I'll stand at the doorway. And when I looked at her body and I realized the essence of who she was, her energy was gone, that what was left was a shell. And the reason why it was fascinating for me, the different experiences around my mother's passing, is because I helped her pass over, and that was my first major spiritual experience in my life, at least one that I was conscious of. So Scorpio asks us to look at all, and we didn't get to sex, and we're probably not going to. Just kidding. We definitely don't like to talk about that, and I mean that in a vulnerable way. We don't like to talk about it. I don't mean there's not lots of communication about sex in our, especially now, certainly much more than when I was growing up. And I don't have a problem with that, but we don't like to have deep conversations about things that come to the core of who we are. And that's where Scorpio's intended to take us, to the core of who we are. It really is connected very profoundly for me to your subconscious. And so understanding that energy allows you to understand who actually is driving the bus of your life. Because you internalize a lot of things through that Scorpio, well, through all three water signs. Anyway, I could go on about that, but we're going to move on and just talk a little bit more about how Mercury backing up into Scorpio brings us back to that place. And in a way, Mercury in Scorpio is not about logic. It's just not. It's about being aware of our subconscious, the deeper things that inform our lives. Now, sometimes we express that Mercury and Scorpio energy by going, well, I'm just never going to reveal anything truly important about myself to anyone.
Interesting.
And so whenever Mercury's in Scorpio, the challenge is always going to be, will I or won't I? Will I really reveal myself and all of my complexities?
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm trying not to say good, bad, because it's not about that. It's about, and Scorpio does remind us in a very powerful way that we have a shadow. And are we willing to make best friends with that part of ourselves? Are we willing to accept that we live in a world of duality and everything is not light and everything is not dark? So often, because Pluto's very so closely associated with Scorpio, that can really be the dark night of the soul. When you get down to your essence. And so often this period of, and it's interesting because in where I live, of course, we're in the fall season, or more likely for us, winter, which is all about retreating from the active growing phase. However, the deepest growth in our lives takes place inside us, where we really can't measure it. And of course, Mercury is going to try to get a handle on it instead of allowing whatever needs to be expressed, not trying to control it in any way. So when Mercury is backing up into Scorpio, which is going to stay until it goes direct, there's still more opportunity for us to process things and allow things to surface into our conscious mind, which is more likely your cognitive mind. And just my insight would be, just let it sit there. Sometimes you don't have to do something about something just because it surfaces. That's what water is about. It's about things coming to the surface. I mean, if you think most things, stone, like obviously stones sink to the bottom. Well, not all of them. But if you jump in the water and you relax, you will rise to the surface. More likely in the ocean, but still, even in fresh water. Now, this is not a suggestion that you should never learn how to swim. Let me be clear. It's just about understanding the process of coming to the surface. I hope that made sense because right now I'm not sure that it makes sense to me, but
Yeah.
so
Sense to me.
So this new moon in Scorpio is going to be very powerful and I mentioned in last week's episode that when the moon hits full in Scorpio, it's going to be forming what in astrology we call a kite. And
Are you
what
talking about the new moon or the full moon that just happened?
did I just say full?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, I meant the new moon. Thank you, Andy. This is why a person has a producer and a sidekick.
Who's also an astrologer.
Who's also an astrologer. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Could a person doing an astrological podcast have a producer that wasn't an astrologer? I don't think so.
They could, but it wouldn't be
It would be
as
as much. No. So what a kite offers us is an opportunity to tap into something natural and easy for us and find an an outlet that is highly creative. So you're being pulled to use something that comes so easily to you. Now, this could be many things, but we're talking about earth and water. So it's about using all that emotional information, all that emotional awareness to ground it in the planet in a way you've never considered before, because that's Uranus. It's about change. It's about doing something in a way you've never done it before. So, don't discount any things that you think are wild and undoable or improbable is a better word. And it's a wonderful way for us to close this cycle of Scorpio with a huge amount of creative energy moving forward, because the truth is Scorpio has a lot of creative energy of a really deep and life-altering way. Because that's what transformation is. It's not a walk in the park. It's more like, sometimes it's going to feel like climbing Mount Everest in high heels, the transformative process, which is apropos since we're talking about Uranus in an earth sign. But understanding what seems impossible or improbable to you in this new moon, it's about taking old stuff to make new stuff. So rather than doing the whole release thing, it's what do you carry forward from that full moon cycle onward as you go through the disseminating phase through to last quarter through to the balsamic phase. So there's going to be a lot of imaginative stuff, if you feel, grounded enough. And I would suggest that, whatever way you want to acknowledge what's bouncing around in your consciousness, whether it's your physical body, like going to the grocery store and you see something to eat and you think, well, I've never eaten that before, but there's a strong pull for you to try that. Or you could look for sarcastic vegetables. Let's see the vegetables.
My God. Oh my God. It's talking to me. It said something kind of mean, but it was kind of funny too.
What did it say?
I don't know. It was really sarcastic though.
Well, that is Mercury in Scorpio. It's going to say some very blunt things.
Will you take a drink so I can take a drink?
For God's sakes. Well, I managed to do that without laughing. That was the first.
No, I'm laughing. He's stirring the soup. You gotta stir the pot, Leslie.
Well, how would you like me to stir the pot? In other words, the other thing about Mercury and Scorpio, because it is so intense, things can float up from your consciousness and fall out of your mouth before you realize what you're saying.
Wow.
I don't think that you should, and sometimes it's going to be things that need to be said. And unfortunately, you may not be aware of exactly what you've said till you've said it. The
I
only
have
thing
Mercury Scorpio natally, so I agree with everything you're saying.
oh, good. See, it's nice to get feedback. So when and if that happens, just recognize that because Mercury is retrograde, this is something that's been percolating around in your consciousness for a while. The other thing is it's not to get too stuck in your logical mind. In other words, if things surface, thoughts surface that don't make any sense to you, don't edit them. Don't comment on them. Just uh, just let it be, as it were.
Let it be, let it be.
I'm afraid to sing. I goes back to terrifying experiences I had in school. So now we're going to pick a color card, as we generally do.
Black, black.
Yeah, I know you have a thing for black. It's not like I don't. In fact, I saw my hairstylist yesterday, and I was wearing a top that had colored stripes in it. And she said, "What happened?"
Oh,
I
wow.
generally see you in color. Well,
Yeah, I thought your shirt was black, but you said it's navy blue.
well, it's a dark blue. It's more like a sky blue. Well, maybe it is. Oh, now you're making me sure and wonder what color it really is.
Are you navel gazing now?
No, because my navel's not over here.
I feel like I need a song for when you shuffle the cards. Do do do
Do,
do do
do,
do
do.
do do.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to take over again.
Well, it is I mean your show. Do 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 do.
People are going to get something out of this episode other than you and I laughing. Oh, that's a
Hey
good thing.
man, if they get a laugh out of it, we healed something. I
Okay.
could fling the spoon on my nose.
Well, that really is interesting because in my experience, Capricorns. Oh, geez, this is really interesting because it's what I've been talking about the whole Scorpio cycle. Burgundy, awaken your passion.
That is the Scorpio color. Like
Yeah,
that blood red or
yeah,
burgundy. Okay, that is crazy. That is
yeah. Well,
crazy.
synchronicity does work.
Oh my God, these episodes are so magical.
Well, that's because I'm magical. Am I
Oh my
allowed to say
God.
that?
Yeah, I only work with magicals.
Well, there you go.
Burgundy, what's the card mean?
Awaken your passion.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because I really hope that during the Scorpio cycle of episodes that I just want to keep repeating myself about passion, and I think that people think of passion in such a limited way, and they don't realize it's anything that fills you with joy or even peace and contentment, like knowing that you're connected to something that really matters to you. Like astrology is a passion for me, writing is a passion for
Mm.
me. Uh, Relationships, having healthy, happy. I mean, you know, just thinking is a passion. I love thinking. Um,
Mm.
okay, also a passion.
Mm.
And it's
Yeah.
funny because when I was growing up, uh, 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 almost all the reporters I had in elementary school said the same thing or something similar to it. Leslie's a very good student. She just talks too much and she daydreams too much.
Well, you're the perfect person for a podcast. Oh, someone's here. I just want to say I'm passionate about what's in the bowl. Because as an astrologer, I need to listen to what's in the bowl so I know what's going on every week. And so I'm becoming very passionate about this Astro Soup show because of what's in the bowl, especially.
Uh, okay,
Hi,
so
Crystal.
Hi, Crystal. How are you?
Welcome to the episode.
Uh, yeah, I lost myself. I lost myself somewhere.
And I found you. Here's
This
some
is
soup.
true.
No, Crystal, you didn't miss it. We're on episode 4 of the Scorpio season. This is a pleasant Uranus surprise for us that you're
Yes.
here.
Yes, it is. See, I told you something unexpected was going to happen, and it did. And it did. Yeah, that's the other thing, this new moon is it sows the seed for a lot of unexpected things. And before everybody gets up, worried about the word unexpected, um, it brings a lot of, often it brings challenge, but it also brings uh, variety. And if life was always the same every single day, although sometimes I know we think we would like that, and maybe I'm just saying this because I have 5 plants in Aquarius and I don't really want every day to be exactly the same. Um, the unexpected to me is more like a miracle that has the energy of joy attached to it. But anyways, that was a complete aside, and that is
I love that.
because
I'm taking that with me because, a little bit of chaos really does keep the pot cooking. You know what I mean?
exactly. And when we're just to close out what we were talking about in terms of that that energy that's going to bring us some unexpected things. Uh, Underneath it is an opportunity because the unexpected always offers an opportunity, one that we did not anticipate. And so I'm fond of saying that every experience in your life has a treasure attached to it or a blessing attached to it, if only you're able to look beyond whatever you think the immediate consequences are. Like when I fell on my face, when I looked at the chart that me falling on my face, it showed an opportunity for me to do more healing, but also opportunities for more creativity in my life. And Saturn was very strongly involved, and it also meant rediscovering purpose. So there you go. You just never know what's going to happen. Okay, so we did the color card, and then and what the heck did I do with it now? Oh, there it is. It's still there. So again, awaken your passion. So one of the things I might suggest that you do is just write the word on a piece of paper and just leave it there. If you don't have anything to say after you've written it on a piece of paper, just let it sit with you for a while and see what passion means to you. Because I know that we believe that words have a singular meaning or meanings, but not all words mean the same thing to everybody. And passion might be a word that's difficult for people to embrace,
Mm.
not understanding that they attach it to larger than life events when no, it's what is larger than life. It has to be about what's larger than your life to you. It isn't about what it means to everybody else, which is part of the challenge that we have.
Mm.
So, of course, I love words. And I don't think that not everybody has the same relationship with words that I do. But that's okay. It's not their podcast. It's my podcast.
Yeah, there's a real base version of passion, which I initially envisioned, but then I put on my angel wings and flew above that.
There's nothing wrong with that either. We're talking about the things we never talk about.
You said we couldn't talk about sex, death, or taxes, but so I kept
But
it under.
I said we don't like to talk about them. And then when we got to the sex, yes, I said I didn't, because that's a whole I mean, honestly, if we're thinking about it, sex takes up a lot of space in the world that we live in now, and not always in a life affirming way. Okay, so now, uh, yeah, yeah, that new moon is going to offer us an opportunity to sow seeds connected to a new transformational breakthrough. So, and you might not be looking for it, but it might show up anyway, because that's what happens when you have Uranus at the release point of a grand trine. Talking astrology, basically, a grand trine looks like this. All the and what's opposite the what is opposite the that full moon is Uranus, and so the breakthrough is no doubt going to begin in the feeling part of yourself. Anyway, so now Andy and I are going to talk about plumbing the depths. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, life is always offering us opportunities for deeper awareness. And because we're dealing with so much water, oh, for God's sakes, I lost my train of thought. Lost my train of thought.
There's an airplane of thought coming right back in.
Huh?
There's an airplane of thought flying right in.
Well, it's funny because that makes sense because Uranus rules airplanes and it's my Uranus that's causing havoc in my brain. It's not helping things out at all. So we're talking about, so whatever the depths are literally this time are connected to water. I mean, I hate to imply that there's no depths to fire, air, and earth, because there is. It's just a different kind. It's all based in feeling, sensing, and emotion. It's based in other, and because all of the elements, we need all of them in order to exist on this planet, and yet we're talking about water. So, what is the invitation to our consciousness when we're dealing with so much water energy, so much sensing, feeling, and emotional energy? Any thoughts, Andy?
And what's all the water mean for what we feel?
Yeah, well, what is the invitation in all of this?
Interesting. Gosh, what a good question. I would say depth would be an invitation of water and bonding. Really finding the closeness. I mean, you and I we are definitely getting closer as we work together under these water episodes because we definitely are bonding, honestly. It's there's something about water that where we take things seriously on the emotional level, and I think that is really what I'm noticing.
Yeah, well, water is always because really um, there's a need for connection. There's a need for it's like snuggly and cuddly. It's like my prop. It's like my
Oh,
prop, right?
yeah.
You want something to hold close to you.
Here, does she want I don't know what that is. Does she want some lettuce?
Not so much. Anyway, um, so
Does
for
she
me,
want a tomato? Oh, sorry.
yeah, I think we're having a lot of fun with those props. And one of the things it's doing is it's distracting me from things that I haven't figured out how to say. It's like, as I said before, as soon as I start talking about Uranus, because I'm an Aquarius, it tends to send me off in a different direction than everybody else. So the invitation for me is really about connection. It's about bonding. What are you connected to? Not in your head, but in your heart. Because after all, what does the heart do? It pumps that blood, which is liquid, through our bodies to keep us alive. So it's really about heart energy. What we're dealing with right now is an invitation to really be in touch with our hearts And not to quantify it and qualify it and describe it. It's just to feel it. What does it feel like to be connected to your heart?
Hmm.
So does that make sense to you?
It does. I'm trying not to be distracting, so now I'm being quiet. But yes, it makes a lot of sense. No, I think water definitely gets the heart, especially like if we were being really technical about it, it sends plasma out the heart. Like if you look at the aura, water is a rolling plasma formation out the aura. And I do think there's a lot of, yeah, plasma out the heart.
But this is very much Uranian because you know what happens when you invite the your Uranian energy in, things tend to go squiggly, which is the best way I can describe it. So I'm going to do just a little bit of a brief meditative exercise that really is connected to us closing out the Scorpio cycle, which we will be doing in the next few days. And if I didn't mention this, the new moon is actually, I think, on November the 19th. And that's around, so Mercury backs up into Scorpio about 3 hours before that new moon. Now, I think it's overnight, so in some parts of the world, especially on the North American continent, that could actually be late on the 18th of November, if you're wanting to circle things on your calendar. So anyways, first of all, I'd like you to find a really nice, comfortable place to sit, because I assume you're not standing watching this, but you never know. And so if you're in a chair, just kind of lean back and feel your body relax as much as possible, because it's going to make some crack about chairs, but so make, because water energy is very cuddly, it's very, um, you need to feel that sense of safety. So one of the things you can do if it is really, just do one of these where you're essentially hugging yourself if you want. Or if you just want to be completely relaxed, do that. So I want you to close your eyes. And now take a couple of comfortable breaths and feel that all the way down to your toes. And now imagine yourself in a safe place, or any space that feels safe to you. Sink a little deeper into yourself. And feel your heart opening. And now, imagine yourself as a lotus, floating on the surface of a pond or a swamp. See yourself opening. And recognize that you've taken all of the muck and the gunk you've experienced to bloom into this transcendent flower that you've become. Take a few moments to draw in the beauty that you have created within yourself. And remember that at any time you want, All you have to do is go back to your safe place and invite that image to flood your consciousness one more time at any point that you feel life is overwhelming or that you just need to reconnect to your basic essence. And when you're ready, I want you to come back into this room. Okay. So the last thing we're going to do before we end the last episode of the Scorpio cycle 2025 is I'm going to pick a soul coaching card, just something that you can use to as another benchmark or another, well, I guess benchmark, talisman, however you see it.
Can't hear you now.
As soon as I said that,
You're doing a really good job, Leslie.
so I don't know, 4 of them fell out. Oh, Randy
Macho
showed up.
Man was telling you you're doing a really good job.
Okay, so playfulness.
That is so today.
So I think that, when this card showed up, I thought to myself, oh, so I guess whether Andy and I realized what we were doing or we didn't, we showed everybody that never forget to play. Never forget to play. Play is not something just for children
Mhm.
at all. It's for each and every human being on the planet.
Yeah.
I had 4 cards fall out, so, and they all said, I'm sorry, you can't put any of this back in the deck. Okay. Then we have sanctuary.
A playful sanctuary.
So I hope that that exercise helped you create a sanctuary for yourself. Because sometimes we forget the foundation in life that we have is ourselves. Then we had essence, and isn't it got a lotus?
Wow.
Oh, wow. And then the last one was compassion. And you'll notice that it has the word passion in it. And part of being able to find your passion is being compassionate to yourself. Any
Wow.
comments, Andy, before?
Yeah, I made you something. It's called synchronicity soup.
I love it. I have to say that, wow, today was great.
Today was
So, so this is so much fun in it. And yet there's such a peace and a harmony here. To be honest, I wasn't sure about whether a meditative exercise would work, but when you're connected, you're connected.
I really
And I
like the
mean
change.
connected up, not or connect in and up.
I really like the change in tone. Like it really changed the whole feel of things around here. It's a true variety show.
Oh, I'm a variety show all by myself, apparently. Oh, I don't know why I was going to show everybody this. I guess where's Randy? Where's Randy?
Hey, darling.
Well, if he's not a Scorpio, I don't know who is.
He is such a Scorpio. Did you know that he's a Scorpio with the sun, the
No.
sixth out Mars, and Capricorn?
Okay, so as we always end with wrap it up, and I promised everybody a giggle or a guffaw, depending on what your physical response is. And I love this because it it so speaks to the truth of my whole life. I don't need a hairstylist. My pillow gives me a new hairstyle every morning. That's anonymous. Nobody knows who said it. So that's pretty much it for this episode. So back soon with episode 1 in the Sagittarius cycle. And I think it's interesting because just a last thought about that new moon. For the third month in a row, we have a new moon, just a degree and a half or what away from the sun moving into a new cycle. So that's two initiation points close together. So, we're going to carry some of that Scorpio energy forward, but we had a lot of fun today. And let's face it, Sag likes to play. So if this is any indication of what the Sag episodes are going to be like,
I'll get my gold lipstick ready.
okay, I'm glad to know that. I think, not sure. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining us again, and me in particular. No, I'm just kidding. So until next
Joining
time,
me, actually.
be true to yourself.
Thank you, Leslie.